Hello ladies and gentlemen, Keaton here, and it's time for another vlog. Alright, so yeah, for anyone attentive enough, you may realize that this vlog is actually coming out a week late. Usually I do these like at the end of the month, like the final Sunday in every month, but this month was a little special, and I'll get to the reason why in a bit. But first, let's do a quick recap of the channel this month. This month was very series heavy. Of course, obviously, thanks to Horror Month, once again, our second year doing it. This year we did Outlast to completion, we did Fear 3 to completion, we did Stop It Slender, a whole bunch of Stop It Slender, and a whole bunch of The Ship. The Ship wasn't as scary, but you know, depending on who you are, still, you know, you're murdering people, so there's that. But nonetheless, those were the mainstays of the channel this month. And you know, if I had to make any assessment for this month's activity, I would say that maybe either series-based games or narrative-driven games maybe are amongst the least popular content on the channel this month. So, you know, that includes like Outlast and Fear 3 especially. So that's my understanding, is you guys don't want to see either series-based stuff or narrative-driven stuff, and that's totally cool, by the way. Like, I understand why. Like, either you might not want to spoil the game for yourself, or you know, maybe the hour-long videos are just harder to watch because, you know, they are narrative-driven. Whatever the case is totally fine, but that was pretty much my assessment of the month, looking back at the activity on the videos. So it was a pretty interesting learning experience, I would say. But the interesting thing is, I don't necessarily know how accurate that assessment is. So, you know, I would really like to know what you guys thought of the whole series-based narrative-driven games that we did, just for future reference. But anyway, on a more positive note, we did get to look at a lot of new games this month as well, including the Hyper Light Drifter early preview build. We got to look at Devil's Dare. We got to look at Metrocide. We got to take part in the Action Hank Halloween-a-thon. We were a last-minute entry to that, but that was my first time ever playing multiplayer in Action Hank. Because the other times, you know, it just never meshed well with my schedule. So it was great to actually get to play multiplayer, and at the same time I got to check out the new Halloween update for Action Hank, so that was pretty cool. And we're rounding out the month with the Talos Principle. Joe did a pretty in-depth look at the Talos Principle preview build. I'm not sure if he has any more content to look at, actually, because, you know, it's a preview build, so there's a finite amount of content in there. So nonetheless, I know he did a stream just recently, so yeah, he did a lot of content for that game, and I think it's safe to say that he really enjoys that game. So pretty interested to see what he does with the full game, you know, when it comes out, because that game doesn't even have a release date yet. So that was pretty cool that we got a really early look at Talos Principle, and it's not even in early access or anything. So that was really great. So shout outs to Devolver Digital on that one. In other content for the month, we did obviously the Nuclear Throne stuff, the Cosmicoria stuff, a whole bunch of update videos for different stuff like the Farce and so on. We did a whole bunch of Minecraft stuff. We're gonna take a break from Minecraft this week. Next week we're gonna come back with something else, but I'll get more into what to expect in the coming month in a bit. But I kind of want to shift gears to probably the best thing that happened this month. So I mentioned at the start of the vlog that I pushed this month's vlog back a week because I wanted to talk about the fact that we actually broke 1,000 subs this month, and we could not be more surprised. Yeah, we're always under the assumption that we're gonna remain a small kind of like blip on the YouTube sphere, and technically we still are, but you guys continue to amaze us with your support, not only watching our videos and, you know, participating either with sharing them, thumbing them up, commenting, etc., but we keep getting subscribers, and it is the most amazing feeling to realize that, you know, as modest as we may see ourselves as YouTubers in the grander scheme of things, we have a little group of people who continue to grow in size every month, who really dig our content, that is just like, that's the best feeling in the world, and it really encourages us to keep doing this and get better. I say that every month, but it never gets any less truer. So once again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you to all the new subs this month. I hope you guys enjoy the content on the channel, and we hope you guys get involved with the community and, you know, help us continue to grow so we can do better, we can cover more games, we can do a better job of covering those games, and we can cover more games, etc, etc, because every number counts to people outside the sphere. For us, we're just happy people watch, but for people like YouTube and developers, like the sub count, the view counts, all of that stuff really matters to determine whether we're worthy of like just checking out their games, you know. So you guys are really important to the growth of the channel, and you guys have been doing an amazing job, and we could not be happier with the amount of people who are just showing us so much love and support. So we're so happy, in fact, that we realized we had to do something different. We had to do something special. We couldn't just do another like thank you vlog or something. So what we are going to be doing is do a 1000 sub stream live stream featuring both myself and Joe. I think we're going to try and get at least one or two of our friends in on the action, but we will be playing Just Cause 2, so if you do have Just Cause 2 and the multiplayer mod, you can join us on the server and hang out with us on the live stream. That will be taking place on Monday at 12 a.m. GMT time, which I do believe, if I did my math correctly, it will be 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. I know it's a little of a weird time, but unfortunately, because Joe and I live in such vastly different time zones, this is pretty much the only time that we could get together and do this, you know. But again, I don't exactly know if my times are correct. So the best way to know exactly when we are going live with that live stream is to follow us on Twitter, because that's most definitely the place where we will be posting the details of the day, probably one day before. So I'm not sure how long it'll last, probably an hour, maybe an hour or two. It really depends on the situation. But yeah, the tentative plan right now is to play Just Cause 2 and hopefully get a whole bunch of y'all in there with us and just, you know, enjoy messing around for a good chunk of time and, you know, just enjoying the community and what we've built. So if you're free, I know it's a weird time zone. Again, we apologize for such a weird time zone, but if you're free, feel free to hop on into the channel. If you have Just Cause 2, you can hop on in with the game. Regardless, we want you to be there. We're excited to be able to do a live stream with the both of us because, again, usually time zones do not allow us that opportunity. So we hope you'll come by, hang out with us for a bit. You know, we'll just shoot the breeze and have fun in Just Cause 2, probably blowing things up and whatnot. Alright, so now that we've covered everything that we've done this month and the 1000 subs, which again is just so damn amazing, what can you expect in the coming month? Let's see. As I said, there is a Minecraft episode coming. I think build, at least in Minecraft right now, is put on hold because little behind the scenes story here. The server that we usually play on is currently out of commission, and it's something that is out of my control at this point in time. But we will try to do more Minecraft. It seems you guys like Minecraft, so we will be doing more Minecraft. I promise you, once I can get everything sorted out properly, we will be doing more Minecraft. But there is a new Minecraft episode. We're taking a break this week, but 2 weeks from now, there will be another Minecraft episode, and hopefully by then I'll have everything figured out. I do have more Hyper Light Drifter footage. I did not record commentary for it, but I did record about an hour more footage of things that I just missed in my initial playthrough, or my initial first impressions, I should say. So I might be uploading that in some form if I don't use it for the vlog footage this month. I'll definitely upload it at some point so you guys can get a better scope of just the different paths in just the preview build itself, and the different weapons that I actually missed on the first impressions playthrough. So there's a lot of cool stuff that shows up in that footage. Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Binding of Isaac Rebirth is definitely going to be on the channel on release. I unfortunately could not really get in touch with anyone to possibly get a press copy so that I could have footage for you at launch. So it'll probably come later in the day because I have to record it, edit and render and upload. That's probably going to take a long time because my internet sucks, but I promise you we will have Binding of Isaac Rebirth footage for you on that day. We just started Ibanob on the channel just this weekend. We will be continuing that. Probably having a little fun. The next episode is pretty funny. As well as the return of McDroid, Fight the Dragon, Loadout, and all those series that we had to put off for October. They will be back at some point. We'll probably be rotating them in and out. And there's also a lot of other games that we want to check out as well. So yeah, there's a lot of content that we have in store, and we'll get to it eventually. I would love to do more Devil's Dare because I have been playing that game in my free time, and when you get past the first areas, it actually gets a little more interesting. Like, the enemies sort of mix it up, and it gets a lot more difficult, and there's even like an upgrade system sort of in the game. So yeah, there's a lot of depth I didn't even get to touch on in Devil's Dare. So if I can get a little better at that game, it's going to be a great game to go back to. And the final thing I kind of want to tease, again, this is all stuff that is on my end. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what Joe has up his sleeve, but one thing I did want to sort of end on is I am going to be doing a first impressions coming up of a different type. It's for a game that I've already played that I want to share with people who may not know it exists, because it ended up being quite a surprising title, and it had like a lot of great ideas and everything. So I want to kind of share with you guys a game that I think you guys should play. I think you guys might find interesting if it suits your fancy. So I will be doing that type of game, and I only bring it up because it'll be a different type of first impressions video, because usually we do like blind first impressions. So this is going to be a different sort of game. It's going to be more of a preview of, hey, this is a game that I dig, I think you should check it out. So we'll see how that goes. It might turn into a let's play. It depends on how well it does. Yeah, I think that's about all you can look forward to. Obviously there will probably be more Cosmocoria, probably more Nuclear Throne. Oh, obviously more Nuclear Throne. Oh yeah, we also recorded more ships, so there will be more ship shenanigans. I like that, ship shenanigans. But I think that's about it. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, and possibly anything else that we have an interest in that releases in November. So yeah, November is looking to be a pretty packed month, so there's a lot of content coming as usual. You know, we're never gonna skip on the content. And once again, I know that October might have been a rough month for some of you who are not into series-based stuff, narrative-driven stuff. Don't worry, we're going to go back to our regular release schedule type of games, you know, the first impression stuff, a more varied amount of content. So don't worry, we're going back to normal. Horror month is over. You can pull the blankets away from your eyes and no longer worry about screaming, maybe as much. Who knows, you know. But anyway, that was the month. Once again, I have to end on thanking our 1,000 plus subscribers. You guys are amazing people, and we thank you so much for your support. It might sound like a broken record at this point, but really, you guys are amazing, and the continued growth of the amount of support that we get on a monthly basis just continues to fuel us to do better and make sure that we improve for you, you know, to make it worthwhile. So thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed, and I hope all the new subscribers are enjoying our content. Don't worry, we're gonna start varying it up. So yeah, stay tuned. That's all I can really say. And with that, I think that was a pretty successful vlog. Not a lot of behind the scenes talk, really, because there's not much to talk about that I haven't ranted about before in the recap. So yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone who has watched our content for this month. You guys are awesome. And until next month's vlog, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.